So let's get started. Medical devices. Remember that this master's degree, this is regulatory affairs and quality assurance in health in medical technologies. So we are going to talk about in this course about medical devices. So this is you have to have a good understanding, and for some people that took this a related class about regulations, they already saw what is a medical device. But for the new ones, new students, a medical device is an instrument, apparatus, implement, machine, implant, or in vitro reagent, a component part or accessory which is intended for use in the diagnosis or this of disease or other conditions, or in the cure, mitigation, treatment, or prevention of disease, which does not achieve any of his primary intended purposes through chemical action. So the medical device can be used to diagnose diseases, to manage diseases, to prevent a disease, or to treat a disease condition. So that's the definition of a medical device. Not everything is a medical device. So for example, if we have a medical device used for therapy, could be an electrical stimulator for pain or spasms or any muscular conditions that need electrical stimulation. For example, pacemaker is another example of a therapy device. Dental implant is an example of a device. The dental implant is considered a medical device. Uh, Infusion machine, medical laser, for example, for treatment of different, skin conditions, for example, or other conditions in surgical, for example. Defibrillator is a therapy device. RF ablation to remove tissue or to remove other things, for example, nodules or things like that. In terms of diagnostics, we have devices that are used to diagnose a disease condition. For example, ECG. What is an ECG? It's an electrocardiograph or cardiogram. An ultrasound, and the ECG is used to diagnose disease conditions of the heart or to observe the functioning of the heart, because the heart has muscle, and the muscle to activate is through electrical currents. And those electrical currents are picked up by the electrodes of an ECG, and then we can see electrical activity of the heart through the ECG machine. An ultrasound system, for example, which is pictured here on the right-hand side, is a system that is used to diagnose, to see tissue and blood flow and functioning of the internal structures of the body, not only the heart, it could be kidney, it could be arteries, could be any other, type of structure inside the body, except bones, because the ultrasound doesn't go through bones. So, but ultrasound systems are used to diagnose many things, and also is used to guide, for example, a biopsy needle inside the body. So X-rays, MRI, CTs, those are examples of medical devices that are used for imaging the body. X-rays function by ionizing radiation. MRI is through magnetic fields, oscillation of some molecules. Computer tomography is like an X-ray, but like in 2 or 3 dimensions, in 3 dimensions. Pulse oximeter is another device to check for oxygen content in the blood. Blood pressure monitor is a device to monitor the blood pressure, arterial blood pressure, and a patient monitor, which is used to monitor different variables, like heart rate, pressure, and oxygen content, and so forth. So these are two different types of devices, and these are diagnostic devices, these are therapy devices. And there are other devices that are for disease management. For example, a walk aid, a hospital bed, surgical instrumentation, medical software, support system, disposables, wheelchair. These are things that are not to diagnose, but also they are not really for therapy. Some, maybe a walk aid could be used, depends. But most of these are instruments or devices that are used for disease management. So as you can see, there are different categories of medical devices, but there are many hundreds of medical devices, if not thousands of medical devices that are being used in clinics and hospitals and so forth. So because of we're treating, we're managing and treating, diagnosing the disease conditions and treating lives, we need strict medical device regulations. Okay. Not only that we can, devices can benefit patients, right? If you have a diagnostic system, they can save lives because you have a device that can tell you if you are sick, what kind of disease you have, what the degree is that sickness, and so forth. So the devices can benefit patients. We need devices. But at the same time, devices can harm patients. If the device is not really well designed, or if it has flaws or problems, then the device can harm patients. So then we have to balance between risk and benefit. All the devices, they have a risk. If people don't use it correctly, they can harm or they can cause a delay in therapy, or the therapy could be wrong if, for example, a device provides a measurement that is incorrect. So if the measurement is incorrect, then it's going to give you a wrong, the diagnosis is going to be wrong. Is, for example, if you have an ultrasound system used for, obstetrics gynecology, and they're checking the gestational age of a fetus, and if the calipers to measure the head circumference are bad or are incorrect, then the gestational age of the fetus is going to be incorrect, and therefore any type of diagnosis is going to be incorrect, like the gestational age. So that's why products need to be regulated. The only way to minimize the risk is by putting regulations on the devices to ensure patient safety, to ensure maximum benefit, and to ensure proper use. So we need to make sure that all the devices or in the manufacturing operations uh, aim for patient safety, maximum benefit, and proper use. So we need to make sure like that. If we don't put emphasis on that, the devices are going to be not reliable.